made it a little brighter here. Alright, this is my third attempt, man, to make a fucking podcast episode. Because for some fucking reason, my phone decided to swap where all this episode was gonna go to instead of my SD card that has a shit ton of storage. It went to my internal storage. So now, like, I had to fucking. I just restarted. Okay, we're gonna restart again for the third fucking time. And we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. Okay, we're gonna hop on into this shit. All right. Oh, this is the third time I have to say this, which is very difficult to stay interested in what the fuck I'm saying. But pretty much, fucking Mexico is feels different. All right, it smells different. It feels different. It's just one of those places that like really it just smells different. I don't know. I don't know if other people agree with me or not, but like I don't know if do countries have different smells? Do you think countries have different smells? I know states have different smells. I know cities have different smells. You know, so I guess it's possible, but like it's weird that like an entire country has a completely different smell because it doesn't matter where you go in Mexico. Like you'll come back smelling different than what you smell here. What and you know, so strange. It's so strange. You know. Right? Living is different. Like, I guess cities are just designed a little bit different. There's more emphasis on walking, maybe. Kind of like New York. Um, there's more emphasis on that, but and there's like little corner shops everywhere. Um, somebody just converted their living room into a little business area where you can buy chips and shit. And maybe even some people just like come. Their kitchen is now that like a restaurant. So if you want like tacos and shit like that, you can get tacos and whatever. Not people will just make a business out of their building. Out of their home. And there was this one guy, man. He made amazing chicken, best chicken ever, bro. Like I'm talking about. I've been living for about to be 25 years in June. I've never had better chicken than this. Okay. Oh, so fucking good, man. I was like 7, bro. I would eat the whole fucking chicken. The whole chicken, bro. The whole thing. Except, I'm not gonna cap, though. I'm not gonna cap because, hey, I'm not gonna cap. I don't eat the chicken feet. I ain't eat the beat. I ain't eat the motherfucking brain and shit like that. But I eat the motherfucking everything else. You know? It was good as fuck, man. It was amazing. And he killed it, man. He actually, that guy had fried chicken, which I don't even like. Oh, it was amazing, man. Like his batter, I don't know what it was, man. There's something about it. What he did with. I bet I'm looking for my water. Damn, I think I forgot it. Damn. Anyways, what he did, I don't know what he did, man. What kind of breading he used, what? But he killed it, bro. Killed it with that shit. So fucking good. And to me, it was like this is the best chicken ever, man. I've never had anything better, to be honest with you. Hey, cat, you gonna go outside or you gonna go outside? Yeah, you gonna go outside or you gonna stay? Okay, come on. There you go, kitty. Just hang out here for a sec. Enjoy yourself. You want to see the cats? I think maybe I can angle it down there. Oh, fuck, hold on. There y'all go. That's my cats right there. They usually hang out there, so now y'all get to see a little bit of a shadow of a cat. Oh shit, there's people here too. What the fuck? Alright. So as I was saying, it was just the best chicken I've ever had, man. There's just there's just so many different things from there that I miss. You know, I miss pre crazy violence days. That's what I miss. Where like you could just hang out, man. It felt like you were truly free. You could just walk around without really a worry, because everybody kind of it's a very social culture. Everybody kind of knows everybody. You know your neighbors for the most part. You got friends and shit. People that went to school and shit. Like, you know, that's what they did. They just kind of hung out. And, I mean, it's kind of like I mean, of course, here we go to fucking school. I'm not saying like we don't go to school here, but school's different over there. Over there, like instead of going for what was it, like 8 hours, you go for like 4 hours or 6 hours or some shit like that. Like, no, not 6 hours. I think it was 4 hours. Yeah. And so you would be either on the day shift or the night or the afternoon shift. Like you had shifts and shit. Like yeah. And I was in the afternoon one. I remember, which bummed me out because Dragon Ball Z came out like at 1, and I had to go to school at 1, and I fucking hated missing that shit, bro. I was so fucking sad about it. You know. Which talking about that, I remember actually another story. Where I fucked up my ankle. Like I fucked it up. Like I used to go to this school. School over there, you have to pay for it. It's not free. So I was lucky enough to go to school at that time, and it was like I don't know, man. I mean, kids are kids. We all learned uniforms and shit. Like it was strange, man. Like it was really strange. Like actually having uniforms and shit. Cause when I was here, really wasn't much of that. There was, I guess you could say, like a dress code, but you could wear really within reason, I guess, whatever you wanted. You know, over there is like you had to wear like it was weird because like so you had like slacks, right? They were like the school colors were white and blue, and yeah, slacks. You had to wear like I think it was like dress shoes and shit. Um, and then like a school tee, like a fuck. I think it was a button shirt and shit. Like it was like a things like that, pretty much. Like it's just very formal. And then, but you did have PE days. On PE days, you were dressed in different clothing. You were like in shorts for PE day. Um, so on PE days was just like I think for me it was like Tuesday and Thursday. I would have to come in with like the same kind of slack material, but like in short form, and that shit sucked ass, bro. And then there was like a T-shirt you got like that was like I think it was like white or blue. I think it was blue, which also sucked ass. Yeah. I mean, you got to wear tennis shoes, so it's better, you know. And it was strange because you didn't. Teachers moved, Instead of you going to a different class, the teachers alternated between classes, and so you were most of the time you were just stuck in a room all day, which is horrible. So we got pretty rowdy at times. But depending on the school, oh, so like there's no, how could I say this? Like there's not really much of a board I guess there's a board of education, but it's not really that strict on things. You know, like for me, I remember going to that school. That school was pretty well. They taught you about history. I remember learning about how like the culture of the land, which is a completely different from like the U.S. culture of like, yeah. So we posted up in this bitch, and then we the English taught us how to survive after we almost went extinct here, and then we killed them all. And then we started going to the west, and we just started killing everything in sight, bro. Not giving a fuck, cause it was manifest destiny over there. It's like, well, you see these three cultures. They were all like superpowers, and they decided to come together and create a mega city called Tenochtitlan, and there was like three different cultures that were kind of similar enough to be able to coexist, and they coexisted for a long time. And then the Spaniards came, and then they became sick. A lot of them died, but the ones that did survive, like I don't know, it feels like the culture did mix a lot more than how it mixed here. Like here, you don't like. I mean, I don't know. Not a lot of people know about like who like what kind of religion do Native Americans have? Like I don't really know what they have. Like I don't you know what I'm saying? But over there you're taught that. Over there you're taught that like, hey, this is the culture that was once here and that is still here. There's still people here that there's still even to this day that are able to speak the language that had been spoken a long fucking time ago. And it's like, people still live that way. There's still like certain villages there that live that way. You know, just like a very calm, very non-modern lifestyle. And I'm not gonna tell you, man, it's a shit, bro. It is a shit. Like I enjoy it a lot, in my opinion. It was awesome. You know, I think on the other one I did say I think I already talked about the chicken. I talked they had this guy that was sell hot dogs and he just killed him, man. I don't know what he did to him, but like he just the bread he just toasted it perfectly. It was just perfectly toasted. I don't know, man. It was just really good. And then there was this one spot where you could get corn. So my grandma was like, she lived practically on the main street, you could say, because the the road that you take to get to this town, that road, it's not like a business district like it is here. Like when you get like when you enter a town, 9 times out of 10 there's gonna be restaurants and this and that and this and that, and they're trying to get your business. Over there, there's like homes and shit. Like there's like one gas station with one pump that sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes they just have to like pump the shit physically into your fucking car. That's the only gas station, one gas station, you know. And and it's just a bunch of houses, and yeah, there's a like there's little tiny stores here and there, here and there, here and there, and then there's like once you go into like the plaza, that's when you see everything. You see restaurants, you see like interesting places, just there's just interesting things going on there. That's like the social hub of the town, and so you just do a lot of social stuff. There's a lot of social gatherings. There's a thing where like these uh, these kids are chosen, or these teenagers are chosen to portray like a certain thing where like I don't know, man. Like there's a lot of mix between Catholicism and just the native culture. Like there's this thing where it was like they have to carry like this gigantic statue of the Virgin Mary and stuff like that, like from one town to another, and it has to be a recreation, and people have to like, it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing. It's a whole. A lot of the townspeople have to be involved because There's people called matachines that are like they're fucking they're dressed in like colorful feather like stuff and like with like sometimes they're carrying weapons, sometimes they're carrying like rattles and shit, and they're just running around in like war paint on and shit, and they're just they're just warding off bad juju and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're just warding off the bad spirits and shit. That's what they doing, man. And they take this thing from one small town to another. And I'm pretty sure, I think it's far as shit, bro. I think they take it through like a lot of towns or something like that. And then it ends up in our town. And then we do this thing, and then we do this crazy celebration. And like, everybody's out there. And then sometimes even name, like, big name, kind of like here, Oh, sorry, I'm stretching. Where artists would do smaller concerts in like villages or I keep saying villages, not like towns and stuff like that. And they would come in, they would go there, and like people would fucking. It was a whole event. The fair would get there. It was a whole fucking event, bro. It was a whole event. They had rides and shit that like you didn't know if you were gonna fucking make it out alive. Oh, it was this shit, bro. Like, oh, the food everywhere. Oh, Lord, I fucking missed that. And it was awesome, man. It was very social. Um, I don't know. I guess I've been thinking about that since because of COVID. For like the whole year. Now it's getting a little bit more social, and I'm starting to like think back. Like, yeah, I remember when like things were like there was no fucking um how do I say it? Like there was no pandemic in sight. There was no things were just a little bit more calm back then. You know, and I think it's because of course I was a kid back then, so I guess things seemed a lot less crazy. Um, but I forgot to tell you all the stories of that I was saying earlier in the other two failed podcasts. Man went in flying. So it was pretty much the bees, right? The bees. So in this one, the sorry, apparently there was a big ass bee's nest in like within the neighborhood of where my grandparents lived, and my whole family was there hanging out doing shit. Now this house was not really like a traditional house, I guess you could say. Things were like, it was practically like handmade, pretty much. Like I think my grandfather like built it or helped build it. Like he was like that's the type of shit that was going on, and like the roof was like made out of aluminum, the aluminum panels, and so it was loud as fuck. I think eventually they did get like another material and got it made it a lot better, you know. But for me it's crazy, man. Like sorry, let me take a drink here with my motherfucking caffeine. I apologize. I've practically been podcasting for like an hour now, and I have nothing to show for it, so I'm a little low energy. But as I was saying, the damn the damn house wasn't fucking up to FDA or whatever the fuck OSHA standards or whatever the fuck the whatever the people that regulate safety for home building. That wasn't going on at that time. Um, go inside. Come on, go. Okay, sorry, my cats wanted to go inside. Let me put it back to the. Oh, let me see here. There you go. Um, as I was saying, Yeah, the place wasn't like it wasn't built like yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. It was handmade, and so this big ass colony of bees, some kids were just fucking with it, bro. Some badass little kids, you know, they just started throwing rocks at it and shit. And apparently they hit they hit it enough times to where the fucking bee's nest broke in half. I'm talking about a big ass bee's nest, like size of like a person and shit, like bigger than a person type shit. And the bitch broke in half. When I tell you there was a swarm of angry bees that covered like 300 feet in diameter, bro. Like it was crazy, and I just it was so surreal. I was in the kitchen, in the kitchen floor, playing with some little car, right? Just moving it back and forth, just imagining what the fuck, whatever, right? And I start hearing screams, and everybody just stops and looks at each other. And then my dad runs outside, and as soon as he steps outside, he starts getting attacked by bees. Just fuck, 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 and he closes the door, and he's like he's like he's like there's a lot of bees outside, like I don't know, like, and so my mom just runs, grabs me, and puts me in the room that's the most sealed up room, I guess you could say. Now, here's the thing with it though. As she was running away, the bees swarmed in through the other door that was wide open, which I was actually very close to. My mom hauled ass, ran, threw me in. The only thing that, the only problem is that like, how do I explain it? Like, oh no, oh my god, I'm slowly remembering. I'm sorry. Like I'm like I guess my memory is like trying to remember what specifically happened. I think my mom ran inside and my aunt closed the door behind them and put the sock in there, like in the little hole, because there was no actual doorknob. It was just like it was just a door on hinges, but there was no doorknob. So like she pretty much covered the hole with like a sock or something that she like I guess she took off her sock or something. She had something and she took some off and she fucking plugged the hole. And then the bee started attacking her, and it attacked my grandparents. It attacked everybody. Like, and I mean, like it was swarms. Like I think like a few people died. People that lived closest to the nest, I think they did die. Like that's how fucking crazy how many bees there were. It was insane. And I remember just hearing bees. I remember like just being traumatized. Like what the fuck, bro? And I look at the window, and the window's just covered in bees. Like they're almost covering the sunlight that's coming in through. That's how many bees there fucking is. And like I'm just like, what the fuck, bro? And then like I look at my mom. My mom's terrified. She doesn't know what to do. And like all we hear is just loud. Like it sounds like a jet engine, like in the fucking room. That's how many fucking bees are just buzzing around and shit. Like it sounds insane. I don't know if that was a good analogy, but it sounded it was crazy loud, and all you could hear is buzzing. And I start closing my, I plug my ears, as a little kid, and I'm just trying to stop hearing it. And she just like she also like starts freaking the fuck out, and so she covers me. She just holds me, She's like, it's okay, calm down, calm down. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And I remember crying and shit. It was super traumatic. It was super fucking traumatic. Holy shit. It was scary as fuck, man. But like, eventually the bees were left, whatever. Um, and it was what the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? Y'all heard that shit? People arguing and shit. Yo, people mad as hell over there. Anyways, like holy shit, man. Like that was super traumatic. Um, I just remember everybody just being covered in like stings all over the place. It sucked ass. It was bad. But I mean, shit, we survived it. That was crazy. That was fucking crazy. I remember that. I'm trying to think of other things that happened. It was crazy. I just remember like being like this, like a fucking Edgar, bruh, boat cut looking motherfucker. Anyways, um, as I was saying, okay, I made myself laugh. Woohoo. Anyways, what was I talking about? Okay, so I was trying to remember a memory, something interesting, I guess. I don't know. I was outside all the time, just going on adventures with people all the time, and it was a good time. I had a lot of fun. Sorry if I tapped the mic a little bit. I had a lot of fun. I gotta say, I had a pretty good childhood for the most part. Before it got shitty. Oh, 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 that's a nice stretch. Oh, like I got to go to Disneyland. I went to Six Flags all the time. I went to this cool ass ice resort looking thing. Where everything is for like everything is just made out of ice, and you go like, and you have to wear like these thick ass golden jacket looking things to keep you warm in there, and mittens and shit like that. And it's crazy. It's crazy. You get hot chocolate. Like, oh, that's so good, man. That's a good time. I have a lot of good memories from back then. But the most part, yeah, it's it was a mixed bag of shit. Oh man, for somebody I don't know who the fuck. My bad. I don't know who the fuck commented last episode. It was driving me nuts. Somebody commented, and I guess deleted it, and I couldn't see what it was. Who had commented? It was bothering me. Like I was like, what? Like I don't know. I don't know what it was. Um, that's how many comments I get. That I fucking just one that might have happened is big news. Man, I ran out of gas, guys. I'm sorry. I at this point I would have had like at least 3 episodes banked, but just fucking things happen, man. Mistakes are made. My phone wants to be an idiot. But I dropped this one. It had a few interesting stories. I remember my grandma making like those little mats that people used to have all the time for table. Or man, I'm pretty sure they still do. Um, I just don't have any. Those little mats where you can put like you can have like your table, but then you have like a little mat so you can put your bowl and shit like that. So I guess it doesn't dirty the table. She would make them out of like these leaves or like palm. I don't know, some kind of leaves. And she would just weave it, boom, 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 and she would just make these things, or she would make like cup holders. She would make a lot of interesting shit. She taught pottery. She made like pottery to sell. She was pretty good. She did a lot of shit like that. You know, they had a little farm. They like sold bunnies and shit. Like I remember they at one point they had like over like 100 to 200 bunnies. And he had to feed them all and shit, and it was, yeah. I don't know why. You know what's weird? One time I had a little Buzz Lightyear toy, and he was the shit because his when you press the button, the helmet would actually move back and forth, and the wings, when you press the button, would also pop open, and all the little buttons worked. Like everything was functional pretty much, and it was a badass little Buzz Lightyear. And one day, I just had it with me all the time. You know, it's that toy. You know, you got that when you're a little kid. You got that toy that you just hold on to for no reason, and it just disappeared one day. That was strange. And then I think like a whole year goes by till the next summer. I come back to Mexico, and I'm walking around, right, just looking around, and then I just get this certain urge to dig in a specific spot in the backyard. And as I'm digging, I dig it like almost like 6, 7 inches into the ground. And the Buzz Lightyear is 6, 7 inches into the fucking ground. Like the last time I had it was inside before I went to sleep, and like I don't know what it was. Maybe they were just tired of my ass, just like they were just tired of me always pressing the buttons and making this loud ass Buzz Lightyear make noises or something, you know. But it was. I just remember I just dug. I found it, and I remember when I found it, people they were like looking at it like, "Was that the toy you lost or something like that?" I was like, "Yeah." I bet in their heads they were like, "Damn, motherfucker, how the fuck did he find it?" So you telling me he just dug a hole right where he was? Like, oh, I remember having a memory of opening one of the little the back the the little hinge door in the back of trucks, and I was messing with the handle, and I could barely reach the handle, and I remember hitting it, popping it open, and then the weight of it was so big, and I was so small. I just didn't, I didn't have the strength to hold it back, and I remember my body went back, but my legs like froze up, and I remember practically my back doing a 190-degree angle. And I remember hearing cracks and shit in my bones, and I couldn't feel anything. It was strange. I was still standing. It was like I don't know. It was very strange. I don't know if it was a dream or not, but it was very weird. And like I'm there for like 15, 20 minutes. Then some adult finds me and they lift up the thing and they're like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Like they're freaking the fuck out. And like as they're closing the thing, I'm holding onto it still, and it like I hear cracks. So I snap back, and then I didn't have any damage. It was really weird. But that's the last story. This episode's about to end right now. My bad. It could have been better, but it happens. See you on the next one.